Crissy and Ab. We going live. Got Crissy and Ab. Got Crissy and Ab. We going live. Got Crissy and Ab.
Hey.
Yeah. And we chilling in the
Oh my God,
podcast
so
room.
fat.
Chilling in the podcast room. Anything you talk about, we gonna do. Huh?
I'm feeling like the GOAT.
Let's
Feeling
go.
like they know. Flow coated in, pushing the car around the snow.
Yeah.
Leave your beats in flame, destroying all the lanes. Has I changed the game? Should I deal with all my pain? But
Let's
by
switch
my
the
name.
game. No, I'm switching lanes. You know, I got a lot of pain. I'ma let this off my brain. A lot of people talk about some shit just to make a name. And I ain't doing this for fame. Put some money on the chain.
I put some money on the chain. It's my game, brother. Flame.
Here we go.
I'm about to go
stupid.
Oh,
shit. Nah, we y'all hopping on the track together.
It's happening.
Nah,
It wanted to be organic.
Actually, I do got a beat, and I did start writing. I was gonna send it to you this week. So just let me finish writing my verse. I'm putting you and bro on the track. I ain't trying to get embarrassed myself.
Hard, bro. Who made this beat?
Yeah, this shit is fire. I like this beat.
Trying to keep it real. I see a lot of people playing games. Did it for my city. Make sure the whole know my name. And I ain't trying to curse. Everything is blocked out. Got my ex call me up, but that she's blocked out.
Did what he said too. I like that.
Oh no.
That's what you know you tapped in.
Freestyling. I don't even be freestyling anymore. I kinda lost my freestyle.
Nah,
I
you
used to
ain't
be
you ain't lose it. You ain't lose it. You ain't just
Yeah, you don't lose it, bro.
You just haven't been using it.
Yeah,
That's
That's
it.
it.
Right.
Nah, you gotta go.
Come on, Ab. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. You jump into it.
All right, bet that.
Yeah.
Come on, we got it.
This is a fire beat right
This
here.
beat hard too.
Yeah.
You could have a freestyle session.
I said my daughter came at 17, my life changed. Started seeing things differently when my life changed. Had to look for a job, shit. I'm a man now. I don't even know, cause I ain't got a plan now. Walk around going into stores asking, can I work? My niggas was out here sliding, being put on shirts. You know how that life go. Ab, jump in, cause I'm losing my flow.
Take it back. I really rap, I soul crap. Where they at? We don't see them, they liars. I don't feel that. I get the pliers and I tighten shit up. Fuck. I'm like my life, if it's over or wet, it's all off the top. Get off of my cop. Borrowing from the block, man, I'm watching for cops. Kid problem shit, not the ops. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. I like with the pop. I'm nice with the pop.
He's nice with a pot. Everybody knows, man, he's dressed with the locks. He's real smooth with his words, and you know what he's got. He's got a in his pen, and you know I'm jotting it down. We ain't live, 3,000 people. Psych, man, that's 19. I was like, that's
I feel like I'm from Buffalo, you know where the bill's at. I'm about to talk on the low. We can build that. How top where my pills at.
Oh, Benji, I know that dude, Benji.
We going in.
I know that dude, Benji.
You know this shit, man? Make sure I click those buttons.
Do we click this button
Yeah.
I need that.
right now?
Yeah, cause as soon as that go off, we gonna read it.
Oh, okay.
I need that. She got it on that. She got it on that. She got it, she back. She got it on that. I need that.
I need that.
I need that.
Look, how you doing? What's your name? Hold up. Are you single? Any kids? What's up? Give you love, friendship, and trust. I know this all sound like a lot, but what? I do what I feel is right. Open and listen, I come with a fight. Keep it real with me when I get touched. Right by the side. Yo. Can you hear me? Kid Problem here, Surviving Newark. We got my guest Crissy. We got my other guest Southport Ab. And who we got over there?
AK The Truth. What up? How we doing?
Yeah, we alive. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. You know, life is going so many different directions. I was praying.
Amen.
I was praying a lot.
Amen.
Did y'all? I gotta introduce y'all.
Yeah, that's fine. We
We
can
good?
introduce
Okay.
us.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this. Who do we got here? Who are you, man? I don't know who you is.
Right, man. Right. That's my job to let you know, right?
Right.
Nah, my name is AKA The Truth. All right. I'm an R&B singer, hip hop songwriter, and I do a lot of things for my community. I'm Nigerian. So, you know, we got a lot of talent out there in Nigeria, you know. I just want to bring real music back. You know, I speak about my truth. You know what I'm saying? My last name, Akononu. You know what I'm saying? It means Akononu.
How?
Yeah, it means the one who came to cease all the rumors on his family,
Ooh.
right?
That's deep.
Yeah.
And so that means that I came through to not play around. I came through to show my truth. In a world where everybody's trying to be somebody else, it's powerful to be yourself.
Right,
That's a
right.
fact.
You know, before we get into anything, I just got a quick question. I don't know. I'm feeling this, and I'm gonna ask it. You know, a lot of us we don't really get into politics, but I want to ask.
Okay.
Who are you voting for? I don't know about it's kind of personal, but I want to ask. Who are you voting for?
I'm not trying to get canceled.
Donald Trump?
Nah.
Oh, chill.
You gotta pick
You
because
have to
I don't know.
Chill.
You
I
got
have
to
to
choose.
choose.
You
Listen,
have to
choose.
choose.
Yo, I know you got to choose, and that's
Peer
the crazy
pressure.
part.
Peer
Indian
pressure.
or Trump?
Hey, listen.
Not the Indian Trump.
The crazy part is, I don't even do that peer pressure stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do the. I'm gonna do the me stuff. You know what I mean? But if I'm being completely honest, you know, both of them are pretty crazy. You know,
Right.
in their own respects. You know what I'm saying? But we all as a community, we have to think about what's best for us.
Yeah.
So you know, my vote is just gonna be towards what's best for my community, essentially.
So you're not gonna tell us who you want
Right.
to pick?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Nah, I'm not gonna say
Respect.
that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that.
All right, okay, I'll leave that one alone. But if you were the person, if you were the president, what's some
Vote
things
for
that,
me. No, I'm
no,
just-
what's some,
No,
what's
just
some
playing.
things you would change? What's the direction you want to see United States go in, like for everybody? Like, how would you make it better? Because you see, inflation is crazy right now.
Yeah, inflation is pretty crazy. I mean, man, like I'm just a guy who makes music, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
You don't want no
like I
parts.
don't want
You don't want
part
no
of
parts.
that. Like
No
I
parts.
really just want to live a peaceful life. But like, I'll be honest with you, right? Like I am a byproduct of how terrible the economy is, right? I came out with a master's degree in neuroscience at the University of Michigan, and
Congratulations.
thank you, I appreciate that.
That's dope.
Powerful.
You know, but nowadays it's delusional to go out into society with a master's degree and think that you're gonna get like an 80 to 100K job, right? So you practically turn a master's degree into a bachelor's,
Right.
you know, and so on and so forth. It's gonna keep degrading unless you get a terminal degree, and I just don't want to, you know, put my children through something like that if they have to sacrifice 6 to 8 years of their life studying just for them to suffer in silence.
Right. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So
That's
would
real.
you promote, you know, going to school, or do you feel like as a, you know, society now that it's not needed?
I think if you're gonna go out and use your degree, that's a great question. I would go to school, right? Because if you're gonna use your degree, go to school, right? You're gonna need those studies. You're gonna need all of that. However, in this day and age, there are quicker ways if you have more talents, like content creation, marketing, building a brand. You know, I know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sells Terramana, right? He doesn't know a thing about liquor, you know, and he's not like a liquor connoisseur. But people buy Terramana because the brand of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is so solid. That's why he's able to get so many units sold,
That's a fact.
right? If I were to come out with a liquor right now, I'm going to be net negative for a long time until I market it and build my brand up to where people, oh, wait, what? Oh, The Truth? AK, The Truth got that? Oh, hell, yeah, I'm about to buy that now. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't have any of that brand built up, that brand image, I can't really make any money.
But you know something? Just to go back a few steps, I see a lot of people is going to college and they're majoring in something, and then when they get done with school, they don't go into that field
at
of
all.
work at all. And then, you know, they owe all of this money, and then it's like, then they start preaching, don't go to college, you don't need college. You know what I mean?
Don't do that. Like, I'll say this, like, they had a really rough instance, right, of them coming out into the real world with what they had, and they based that one instance, that one rough patch, on how it's going to be for everybody else, and they try to preach it to save people. When in reality, you do have to go through a couple of things. You know, you have to roll with the punches a little bit in order for you to find your ground, stick your feet in the sand, and pivot. That's essentially what we got to do anyways.
Right.
You're not always going to use your degree. Trust me, I don't use my degree right now.
Right.
So I'm trying to search for that, see what I can do with it. But at the end of the day, you just have to be able to roll with the punches, because when you come out of college, you learn how to learn. Most
Right.
people don't know how to learn and grasp concepts right there on the spot.
Right.
But you went to college, oh yeah, you know how to learn this. I trust you. You know, and you would be a great business person because you went to college and you learned that ability to research and think independently. A lot of people adopt a lot of talking points. We can't be doing that. We got to think independently. All right, save our community by thinking independently, and you'll be able to progress in a better way. Please don't limit yourself, and please don't force limitations on other people just because you had a bad experience.
Yeah, I hate when people do that.
That's
That's
why I tell
real.
people to, you know, imagination, you want to keep that. Even
You
when
wanna
you
keep
as a
it
grown
alive.
person, you don't want to never let that kid in you die. I seen someone speak on that probably earlier today, and it kind of like sparked fire, you know what I mean, in me. It's like, okay, yeah, I've been right this time. I've been thinking to myself, I want to change the whole world. And, you know, just with that fire in me, with that, believing that, I built a pretty decent platform, and people know me for that. So now it's like, okay, I want to keep that imagination going. But you wanted to say something. I think I cut you off. I'm sorry, bro.
Nah. I was rocking with what you saying, because that's exactly how I feel. Having that imagination is a healthy inner child. So you have to prepare your mind to want that, like,
Exactly.
if anything.
Yeah, you got to envision it first and foremost, right? And I think a lot of people don't even. Your mind is really smart. What I learned in neuroscience is that your mind really controls
Everything.
everything, man.
The mind is everything.
It's
everything.
the most powerful vessel, that and the time.
Absolutely. And if you, what happens to that vessel when you listen to other people?
Being easily informed.
Exactly.
And then you start putting the soul to sleep. And
Yep.
once that happens, it's over.
Damn,
And you
I
might
love
start
that.
believing
I
what
love
they
that
say.
you just said
Start
that.
believing it.
Putting the soul
So-
to sleep.
Hey, that's
Right.
Yeah, that's fire. Putting the soul to sleep.
Look, like I was saying, like, you start believing them, and you put your dreams on them, or you tell them your ideas. You know, God didn't show them what He showed you. So now they saying, nah, I don't think that don't make sense. So you listen to them. You know, you might give up or just lose that drive.
It's the same. If you think you're a loser, you're a loser. If you think you're gonna win, you're gonna win.
Right.
It's simple.
I mean, it also goes to the same route too, right? Like, if you convince somebody that they're a criminal, what do you think they're going?
Exactly.
I have a question. So with the way that society views us as a whole nowadays and have such an easy influence on us, do you feel like it's harder for us to maintain that positivity? Do you feel like it's easier for us to fall into like a depression where we want, you know, like where we fall victimized into what they're promoting to us? Because I know you said earlier, well, a few minutes ago, you said we have to think like individually first. And I agree, because we can't teach others unless we taught ourselves. So do you feel like, you know, like, what's your opinion on it?
I would say that it is easy. It is easy for us to fall into depravity because of so many things happening onto our community and us as a whole, you know, in order for us to like progress. I would say this though, right? Even though it is easy to fall into depravity because of this stuff, look at us. You know what I'm saying? We've been through hundreds of years of depravity, right? And yet we, you know what I mean, we still have climbed, we still have reached bounds and leaps to even get to this point. There was a point in time where we were absolutely nothing but tools, a point in time where we were treated as second-class citizens, and even now some people look at us in disgust. But at the end of the day, I'm not miserable, and I'm not gonna let you win, because we didn't let them win.
And you know something? What you said was very important, but most people don't have that mindset. You know, if more of us had that mentality of my people been through a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna be what they promote, or I'm not gonna be what they think, and I'm gonna just be myself and not worry about it, we probably wouldn't go through half of the problems that we go through as a community. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that's a good way of thinking. More people need to think like that.
And that's why I'm promoting the independent thinking right now, you know?
Right.
So We got to get into that. We really got to start understanding that, hey, just because you listen to this group right here that's doing really good doesn't necessarily mean that they know exactly what's going on. It just so happened that what happened for them was the right thing for them in their particular situation, right? We're all unique.
And I meant to ask you, do you have kids?
Man, no.
You just I
I got 3.
He's like, let me let him cook. Hold on.
No kids.
No kids, man.
All right, how's your relationship status?
Single, y'all. I'm pleased I don't want to be in a relationship. Ladies, don't hit my line. You know what I'm saying?
I've been hearing that.
We got to double down on that. Why you say that? You busy? You know, you just doing your music. You got work. What's going on? Why you don't want to entertain it?
I'll be honest. You know, I got so much focus right now, you know, on my music career and the things that I want to do. And I also realize, like, as a man, like, there's a certain level of provision that you have to provide to your woman before you get into a relationship, right? For me, I want to be able to provide for me first and foremost before I can provide for anybody else, right? And I know that in a situation when you do get into a relationship, you got the king and the queen. The queen's the most important piece on the board. You literally cannot have a strong man without an even stronger woman. Mm-hmm. You know, I just am kind of scared because I have not really seen super strong women that I would like want to be like the mother of my kids.
Do you feel, me being a woman,
Yeah.
you know, I personally do know that us women nowadays as a whole, we lack morals, we lack a lot of, you know, like things that we used to have. So do you feel like that also plays a part into like you wanting to be single, at the fact that nowadays these women are so independent that they feel like they're men, like, and I don't know about you, but like I feel like women became very, very disrespectful.
Yeah. And like that's my thing. Like I was raised up in Detroit, Canarsie, Brooklyn, Buffalo. Like there's very spicy women everywhere. I'm also Nigerian. They're the most spiciest women on the face of the planet, you know. But at the end of the day, I know how to deal with that. I just want to protect my peace a little bit. Right? Because ultimately, I get it. We got Sexy Red out here. We got Lotto. We got Saweetie. We got all these female rappers doing their thing. And they kind of want to copy it because they're saying it's a woman empowerment situation. Right? I totally get the movement, but you don't have to be sexy and shut all your clothes.
I don't get the movement. Maybe that's just me. I don't get it.
You don't get the movement, okay.
For me personally, like, how is exposing your body, something that's supposed to be valued by your partner, empowering you? If anything, to me personally, I feel most empowered when I'm covered up and you are directly looking at my face and we can have a conversation. I truly don't understand how being naked is empowering. Like, today, I don't know if you know, but I do work as a roller coaster tech. Oh, wow. And, so I fix roller coasters.
That is insane. That's an insane job. Yeah. Put that on your resume, like,
and and I actually was so disgusted today because I was fixing one of the kid rides, and there was a woman that walked in with her stroller, like a kid in the stroller, and like two more on the side of her, and she basically was wearing like bra and panties. Oh. Yeah, like literally. And I was like, why? Like, to her, she probably feels like she's, you know, looking amazing, like the most baddest, because now everybody wants to be a baddie, right? Yeah. But like at the end of the day, like there's kids here. Yeah. You know, you're showing everything. Like there's no more mystery.
Oh no.
And my thing is here, when we speak on these things, whether it's in private or if it's on a platform, you know, we get looked upon like you're trying to be controlling, you're trying to do this. When in reality, some of us can see how the culture is changing. Some of us can see how it's being manipulated by stars and they're setting trends. And right now, the youth, this is their era. You know, when I say the youth, not only kids that's like, you know, 12.
Adults that still
have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 through 25, and they follow these trends. Like, they made it okay and accepted in society to wear nothing. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, if I'm going out, I have to look good with my girls. That's what these girls think. I gotta go look good. Yeah. But they're not caring or taking into consideration how a man might be looking at them or how they might be devaluing themselves. Right. So I feel like we just need more young men to be on platforms and speak on it. Like, yo, I don't even like that. I'm not even trying to wife that, and I ain't even looking because too many is falling victim to that.
Right. Can I be honest with you?
Please.
I'm getting desensitized. I'm getting desensitized. Because it's like, I see all these women rapidly, man. And
I love how you just put that.
You know, and don't get it messed. Like, I'm also a singer, and I'll have concerts, and I'll have women come up to me, and they're like, "Oh my God, you sound like Usher! Like, this is crazy!" And like, they'll fangirl out and stuff like that. Some of them are wearing the craziest of things I've ever seen. I'm just desensitized to it. I'm like, oh man, like, this is dope. Like, I'm glad that you appreciate my sound, but I'm just not attracted to you in that way, baby.
Yeah.
Like the way you are dressed right now, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I just see a surplus of it so many times to the point where I'm like, okay, my brain designated this as a pattern. Now the woman who dressed like this, I can't even mess with. And it's like it's almost messed up, but like they shooting themselves in the foot by doing it. And I really do love like the allure that a woman has. Like, you can tell a woman is a baddie when she walks in the room. She's fully clothed, but like you can tell she's a baddie when she walks in the room.
When she continues to do that, right?
Yeah.
In the long run, it's not going to attract men like you that actually got themselves going in a good direction. It's going to only attract, the dudes that just want to do it.
Yeah.
And then where does that leave them? But
That's the thing.
Right. No, that
right there is the thing, because that level of consciousness is going to attract that level of consciousness. Like what bruh's saying, I'm not feeling that. He don't want that. So that's going to make them be like, oh, he different. It's gonna stick in their head, I'm gonna try something different. It's really us.
But do you think that like when it's put in front of you, it's a different story? Because I feel like I hear a lot of men say like they want, the regular woman back now, or the modern, like they don't want these, new aged women. But then when it's promoted in front of them, they fall victim to it.
They falling victim to their manhood.
Yeah.
That's all it is. A big difference between what a man will take home and be with versus we're here for the night, and that's forever, because there's no changing that. So if we seeing the quote unquote baddies and they thotties and they whatever, they may not have sex with nobody, but this is how they doing.
Right.
They always gonna have attraction. They not going nowhere.
It's like I go to the it's like me going to the strip club. I'm going.
Hey, yo, let's run that back. I know. That's a clip. That's a clip, y'all.
Look, as a man, let's say if I'm going to the strip club, you go in there to see whatever you
came to see.
Yeah. But then you walk outside, you see it everywhere.
It defeats the purpose of the strip club.
It's the modern day prostitution, but we know that, and men still, still fall victim to it,
Right. So let me say this, right? There's a difference between lust and love, right?
Right.
We all know this?
Yes.
Okay. And so we all know biologically, right, that when we are aroused, okay, we fall into the lust category, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So inevitably, if a woman of that stature comes to you, right, you will be in lust. You may not fully understand why, but biologically your response is to be in lust of them, right? However, if you're looking for love, there's more dimensions to that. I would say lust is one dimension, whereas love is so many others. And
love is a frequency, rather a dimension.
Exactly.
And lust is more one-dimensional because we know what we focus on, like in a lot of them times. With the society and what's going on with society, it's no understanding. It's automatic. I know he like this. I don't like you. Like,
Fuck out of here.
Facts. No.
That's why a lot of females confuse whether men actually like the BBL. A lot of them still getting their butts done, and they're like,
exactly.
That's what y'all like. That's what you like. Then you go and interview the men. Nah, I don't want that.
It's because it's like a dynamic right now. What's going on is for us, but it's not really for us because now they're in competition with each other, and that competition been around for forever. That's how you dumb society down, when you put women against each other. So You could have 100 men saying, yo, I don't like no BBL. You think they give a fuck about what we want? They in competition with each other right now.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't care.
At all.
They don't care.
At all.
They're just wanting to be the next baddie.
Right.
That can't
But
see out
what's
their
this kind of
eyes.
society is that creating for the next generation?
They
that's
don't
coming
care.
up?
Man,
These are the aunts and the sisters of the ones that's 6, 7 growing
That's
up.
allowed.
And you got to think about it like this. They had older sisters and older mothers and grandmothers who telling them, this is what you got to do to get a man, or this is what you got to do, or don't mess with that man unless he got some money. So when you put that on the table, what's that? What she said, modern day prostitution.
Where are we going to be in the next 10, 20 years if we continue to let this go on? When Lil Kim was out and all these other people was out promoting all of this dumb shit, we didn't have the platforms to speak up. You know how many people? I was just talking to somebody about this because they tried to say, well, it was a Lil Kim before Sex Red and all that. What I'm saying is, we didn't have as many.
They
people.
missing the whole point.
We didn't have
They always
nobody
do.
on these platforms or a platform like we do now. Now we got technology, we got cell phones and social media.
Yeah.
We can speak independently. We have a voice. Back then we didn't, so now it just continued.
We kid problem. Y'all gotta stop that. Hip hop has elements, just like rock and roll, just like that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna sit around and sit here and say Little Kim and all this other stuff. Those are elements, just like grunge and punk, 2 different elements. Mosh pits, 2 different elements.
Yeah.
Violence in music has always been.
Yeah.
Even while we were sitting there playing saxophones and horns.
Yeah.
Everybody does an element. However, what's going on now is that the majority of what you saying, kid, that nobody didn't have that viewpoint.
I feel like nobody had a voice to speak on it. If
Why
why
would they need to speak on it?
I feel like
it was already being displayed.
Right,
It was already being played.
I feel like if more people had platforms the way they do now and had access to phones and be able to openly voice their opinions like they do now, it wouldn't have got so bad the way it did. We would have had less people that was being inspired, influenced, and becoming musicians and becoming the same thing that they idolize. Now, if we had, but
when it comes to hip hop, that's not true.
But look, how did hip hop start as far as gangsta rap? They saying it was a meeting and they told them what to rap about.
What you're referring to is how they figured a way to make money. The reality of it is, when Fuck the Police came out, people was outraged because that's how the police are. You had Fight the Power, you had all those. But
when that stuff came out, they said, no, we can't do this.
No, but there's another
labels. They said we can't do this. Police are getting killed.
Even while that was going on, there was another element that was being displayed. We had 6 in the Morning. We had Tila Rockin' It's Yours. We had that street, that the message told us everything that we needed to know. But the reality of it is, what the young people have to understand is, even the adults, when they sit there and see Sexy Red is just the evolution of what it was back in the day.
Exactly, and the public didn't have a voice back then.
But that's not true.
Who's not to say that the public didn't like it?
No.
It's people that didn't like it.
Bro, now I understand what both of y'all is saying, and I think the misunderstanding of it is he talking about the business part of it. You talking about actual hip hop. What you saying, that's nothing but facts. And what he's saying, that's nothing but facts.
But what we have to understand is, bro, you wasn't around when we was sitting when we had the church folks sitting there smashing people's CDs.
Dolores Tucker.
Dolores Tucker and them smashing the CDs, smashing the tapes.
Imagine, exactly. Now when they was doing that, imagine if that was going viral around the whole world.
That's what.
Imagine they could go viral just by a conversation and say da 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 da, and then the whole world see it. They fed us what they wanted to for generations, and then you had people that was inspired and influenced by it.
But fed the reality that a lot of people see. I can't see. I'm a hip hop guy. My father taught us back then, bro. I know my history. I know how it go down. That is just the element. Some people are blessed to wake up every day and not have to walk out the door and look both ways. These kids, what they're seeing now is just the updated version of what we used to see, especially in LA. But for example, when you were a kid in LA, especially in South Central and Compton, bro, you didn't have to have no music to sit there and have the cops put you on the ground like that. You didn't have that. We had pictures of that. The only reason why we saw that was because of the LA riots, and then they got exposed with the other parts of the camp. You're right. So you're right.
So what about the overexposure and the promotion of just the bad? Like when Ice-T dropped Colors, man, I'm in the hood. I can't be like you because I'm in the streets. I don't have nothing. How you think the kids in that time was looking at that like, yeah, we is in the streets. We don't got nothing. We can't be nothing.
But you have to understand, the message tells the same story. It hasn't changed. Our community, bro, you have to understand. Philadelphia, 1972. Everybody sleep. The mayor Rizzo decides he's going to bomb the projects. He bombed it and nobody did nothing about it. We had voices back then, but guess what?
Did we have the voice from the people in the community?
Absolutely.
On a platform that reached the world.
The majority of the community was killed by the community.
Okay.
That's still going on right now. Right now.
That's still going on.
Right back then, they did not have the platform. They did not have the access to what's going on, or we wouldn't be having this conversation because that means something would have changed.
Right. And
where you coming from, you absolutely right. All he's saying is if we had the same tools back then, it would have been different. Because while we still got the same hip hop records from 25 years ago, there's nothing good about that. And I love hip hop. I love it. It's nothing good about that.
Now look.
It's nothing good about it.
Look what it birthed.
It birthed bullshit.
Look with that gangster rap and all that. Look what it birthed.
That promoted more prostitution, more murder, more drug use, more trauma. Hip hop is $1 billion trauma.
Evolution that was supposed to say, nah, we done with this. We don't like
when
this.
They was doing prostitution. The first, Channel 13 taught a lot of niggas a lot of things.
It did.
Like, this is what I'm going to say.
Channel 13
This is what I'm going to say. Look, black faces used to manipulate the culture.
Yes,
that's
a fact.
See, that's where you're wrong.
That's not wrong.
No,
You're not wrong.
No. Late. That 1910. There's a film. Me and my father, he sat there. Yo, when you know your history, bro, you can.
I know my history.
But
We can talk. I know my history. He's
don't
not
know their
wrong.
history though.
No.
It's people who don't.
No. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying you don't. But what I'm telling you is something that a lot of people have never seen.
Right.
We sat there, and he was like, "Watch what they do." Back in the day, cocaine was used that was their first original Novocaine. What the rich people used to do, watching this film, he was like, this is on Channel 13. He's showing you back in 1910, they having a party, they got a mountain of coke. Similar to how Scarface was, that mountain of coke.
Oh, damn.
They sat there with their little spoons. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's a film. 1910, the first real prostitution movie.
So I got a question for you.
That wasn't.
I got a question
black
for
folks.
you. I got a question.
He's saying they use black folks.
Now I'm
Right after that,
look, I got a
But
great
black
question
folks
for
was
you.
already
I got a
doing
great
that
question for you.
Prohibition era.
Look,
They was doing that before that prohibition era.
I got a
If we
great
wanna be
question.
technical, but what he's saying is we've been used to promote the bullshit more and more and more, and hip hop aided it. That's a fact.
And look at this. This is what I'm about to say. I got a great question. So if we had the platforms now, that the platforms that we got today, back then, you think more it would have still happened? No.
Absolutely.
I feel like we
It
could
wouldn't
have
be as
voiced
big as
that.
it was.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as big as it is.
It'll
right
still
now.
happen.
I feel like it would have been
It still
more
happen.
people that would have spoke up and said, this is not what we like. Imagine if there's people that got fresh out of slavery would have had phones to connect with each other.
There's no difference between saying
Imagine when we was actually fighting for freedom for this and that and third and rights and shit like that. Imagine if we had social media.
Yeah.
Imagine how much unity would have been. But no, they took these devices and social media and they used it against us. Now you got little dudes that's 10, 11, just because he live in Newark and he see this on his phone, he think, oh yeah, it is terrible. The whole community agreeing, like, yeah, I guess it is fucked up. Now we just gotta be drill rappers. Now we gotta jump into the streets.
Yeah.
I feel like if we could promote something positive to our youth and to our community, we could get somewhere. Just like I feel like there was nobody to speak out against it back then.
But see that's Randy Moss is a good example I like to use all the time. He's from Hood, Virginia. When you make it there, you graduate from high school and you go to this bar in his town. When you get there, you made it. The reality of it is, you can say that. I've been preaching this for a long time because my father told me Your environment doesn't his environment didn't dictate that. Go to LA.
That's for him.
No. But
Specifically.
okay. The majority of North Carolina. Let's talk about Durham. Durham was one of the poorest places to be. It's not poor anymore. But guess what? The reality of the situation is those people's environments have really not changed. All those people that vote for Trump, ask them how they live. Clarence Thomas was the first person that says, "Oh, I like the trailer park." Really? You was a part of you was walking with the Black Panthers. Now you okay with the trailer park? Nah. But the majority of the people that vote for him are in the trailer park. They wake up every
back to where we started. Where we started is if we had voices back then.
We did. They killed them.
Okay, that was the people they allowed to have a voice, just like Martin Luther King. They allowed him to have a voice.
But we had voices back then.
Okay, now what if we had the same platforms back then to speak? We'd have had more hundreds of thousands of black people saying this is some bullshit. Would have told the massa. This would have told massa that they not fucking with this, and we would have made a different kind of. We would have made different
changes were
content.
Changes were being made. The fact of the matter is, you only need one person in one different environment to tell you otherwise, to dictate otherwise. The white man don't have to do too much. The white man don't have to do too much if you already broke.
All right, and he don't have to do too much if he know that he got control. If he know that, all right, I got this spot right here. I got the all of New Jersey right here. That's the mindset. I got the control of the whole New Jersey. How can I get a good percentage of them to get on drugs, become gang members, do this and that and the third? Let's flood out their communities with guns and drugs, and let's also use people that look just like them to promote it as cool.
That's a fact.
And that's what happened. Now, a good percentage wasn't smart enough not to follow behind it.
So hold on.
A very small percentage.
But you have to understand, the kids now have like a sense of urgency. That wasn't because of what the people been telling. Yo, bro, as a man that got kids, my son tells me on the street, "Yo, Pop, I understand what you mean by lack of urgency." When we was growing up, we knew all the things that we wasn't supposed to do. We had the morals.
Let me change the whole thing, because I got a son. He's 16, and we had a conversation at the beach the other last week. He don't like Sexy Red. You know why he don't like Sexy Red? Because I'm his father. His mother is his mother. So that's influence. That's real. Everybody ain't had their fathers in their household.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's mother wasn't straight and narrow. So you influenced.
Yep.
It's way more influence.
Your environment
dictates.
No.
Dictates.
Then you're going to contradict what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this off. All right. First and foremost, deleting the nuclear family, point blank period, destroys everything.
Right.
You are more easily influenced.
Right.
Because you lost your pillars now. Right. There's the emotional pillar. There's the financial pillar.
Exactly.
There's so many pillars in your family, and once you knock them down, guess what happens? Right. So now you got a slippery slope in what can be influenced into your family. You no longer control what goes in and out of what's going on in your family now.
Right.
Exactly.
So when you use other people, right, that look just like you to do certain things that maybe they marketed as cool or maybe they marketed as great, when in reality and morally it's not.
Right.
Guess what's gonna happen? Those people who don't have a nuclear family are gonna fall.
And you might have been mentally strong enough not to be tricked and manipulated, but right now it's more easier than ever, especially with the phone access that they got, and they getting them as kids.
Yeah, but there's a story to the phone.
And then look at this, and just like this, right now in the black community, it's a lot of single parents raising these kids right now.
Exactly.
So if the father is not at home and the mother is listening to Sexy Red and highly influenced, how is she gonna raise those kids correctly?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's no
almost
foundation.
impossible.
And just like we were just talking about how what it attracts. Now I know a lot of females that said that it wasn't no good men in the community, and girls talk about they want to be protected. Right? So they chose the dudes on the streets and whatever, and that and just like music had a part of it, the movies, everything.
Yeah.
These young girls, they made it with guys that they knew was in the streets because they felt like that was all they have. Yep. Generations after that, what did that create?
Exactly. So
do that as well.
Exactly. So what's going on right now is not coincidence. It's done on purpose, because we can't go to the 6-year-old right now and ask him, yo, you know who Sister Soldier is? I know you know who Sister Soldier is. But that 6-year-old don't know who Sister Soldier is.
He being raised by a single parent in a single parent household. His mom that still want to go out, still want to bring all these different dudes around. How is he about to grow up and be a productive citizen? He got, yes, some can, but majority don't. Majority end up going to school angry. Oh, I don't have this. I don't got that. They got poor self-esteem. Look at the
that's not the setup.
look at the prisons right now. Why is the prisons full of black men that come from single parent households?
Majority of the setup that's committed by the community. That's a government issue too. You preaching to the choir. We've been hearing this since we was 4.
Like I said, if we would have had real people in numbers to say this is some bullshit, then we would have got somewhere.
We did have real people in numbers. Ask Selma, ask Tulsa,
we
ask Alabama.
This phone right now, I can reach somebody in California on my phone right now.
Yeah. I understand. You got to read about the massacres that happened to us, bro. The control is not based just in the community. The control is based.
So what would have happened?
You gotta remember, it's just like I tell people about AI. Sorry to tell you, but you had the information, but we chose to do other things.
And look at this.
Wait.
Just like when Pac started saying "fuck the police," and he had that situation where he was making music about the cop that got killed, some shit like that, and then there was a big problem with cops getting killed by black men. They made it a big problem. He had to go on news and, I can't determine, I can't speak for every black man. And they saying that he's influencing them. So, okay, all right, let's not put money behind rappers that's influencing them to kill cops and stand up for their rights and all this stuff. Let's get people that's going to influence them to kill each other.
Right.
Gang bang. Pick a color. Get out there and sell drugs.
And then
unfortunately, but again, you're talking about what you see. We was already told that was going on before then, and it didn't take no black people to do that. So then you say, okay, well let's go right here.
I think it's a disconnection from your understanding with this.
I disconnect with people when I remember what Martin Luther King, the last speech is the most important speech of the black community. We sat there and we tried to be a part of a house that was burning. Mm-hmm. The burning
and
house.
A lot of people felt like he led us into a burning house.
Because he did. And we don't want to state the facts. He did. He did.
He did because he
wanted us to go and beg and say, please let us into your establishment. No, and we got into the establishment, and what they do?
He didn't have
we sat down and they spit in our food and they said, okay, nigga, instead of promoting, we need to come together as one. Black people, you need to.
He didn't have to beg. You didn't have to beg.
No, but hold on.
At all.
I think, so let me ask you this, right? What is the biggest misconstrued concept in the entire world? What is it? No, I'm talking about generally. What is the biggest misconstrued, what is the most misconstrued concept in the entire world?
The blacks that don't stick together?
No. The biggest misconstrued concept in the entire world is the fact that community controls everything. A group of people can do anything and everything. They can control an agenda. As soon as we start thinking that we can't do anything in unison, guess what happens? We fall apart.
And that's how you divide and conquer because
they use people that look like us.
What provides that?
You're asking me what provides community?
No, what provides community to break apart like that?
Confusion, trauma, drama. Yes.
If you don't see no unity, not even in the household or the community,
what you gonna do? Yo, bro, I used to sit there and say that, and my father was like, "No,
it's the fact. It's a fact.
No, where it begins is how it ends.
What is
continuity?
Money.
And what is trauma? What is trauma?
No, trauma is influenced by one thing and one thing only.
What's that?
Money.
All right, so is hip hop.
Like you say, when the kids don't have, what do they do? What are you willing to do to get it?
Whatever's desperate. So is hip hop trauma? Trauma based? Is we not talking about our pain?
Majority of hip hop when we started getting when hip hop started, it was more about partying, having a good time, breaking away from that. But at the same time, you have to. This is what I mean by the elements. You have to talk about what's going on.
Is trauma not $1 billion business?
Poverty is profit. Now.
Is trauma not a $1 billion
Poverty
business?
is profit.
Is trauma not a $1 billion business?
Yeah.
It's $1 trillion business.
Thank you. Is hip hop part of trauma?
Of course it is. Just like every
I don't
other
have
genre.
nothing else to say.
Okay,
You
so
could,
now
Let
you
him
got
cook.
some young brother out there that's more enraged and ready to, be influenced to talk about bullshit, because he think he's going to make it. What kind of energy is he going to attract? If he's saying, all right, look, I'm a kid. I'm looking online. I want to be an artist. You are your own artist. You're going to speak about what you're going through, your life, trying to make shit better, That's you. But you got a kid right now in North New Jersey who's looking at all of the bullshit and they're saying, you know what? I have to do that. I got to overly talk about the bad stuff that's going on in my life to get somewhere. Now what kind of energy does that attract for him?
But
Now he talking about, I'm gonna shoot the ops, I'm gonna do this. Somebody pushed him last week. Now he said, yo, what's the name? I'm gonna shoot him. Now his brother hit a record. Now it's a beef.
But then you leaving the real part out. Have you talked to them about redlining? Have you talked to them about segregation? We had that. We had all that. All that is the setup.
All I'm
It's the
saying,
grand- when you're 400 years behind and them people making money behind you, once they allow you to do what you do, then you can sit there and do that. But the money is already
Look at
in
this.
place.
Look, generations of them being able to promote bullshit to us by using our people. Now we're at the point where majority of us right now in today's society are brainwashed and numb and just think it's okay and it's all right and it's normal. When in reality, you got a small percentage of people that know it's not normal. It's okay.
Where it starts is where
That's
it
why they call them
ends.
1%, 2%. I don't even know.
It's like 1%.
It's a small percentage of people that
1%.
can really look at the way society is going and can say, yo, they are being fooled and tricked and manipulated. It's only a small percentage. You might be part of that percentage.
But the 1% controls the world.
Yes, they do.
How the board game works, you gotta get to the master. That's
And
how
guess-
it works.
but hold on.
This is how the
hold
board
on,
game's
but hold
supposed
on.
to work. Is stop playing their game.
And look at this. That same master at the top of the triangle.
But it's the game of life.
Look,
It's
like
not
I
the
said,
game of life.
Look,
It's not the game. Life is not a game.
That same master at the
Life
top
ain't
of the
a game.
triangle, what is he controlling? He's controlling the labels. He's controlling the prison. He owns the most real estate. He owns everything. From media to the news outlets. And when I look on the news and I look on the internet, all I see is black people being promoted as the bad person.
Oh man, every time.
So what are the kids going to grow up thinking? They're going to be like, wow, shit, damn.
We terrible.
Or this is the way.
Oh yeah, that's the only way to make it.
And how the rest of the world is going to view us.
Listen,
Like how
Like how
we
they
have to
been
make those
viewing
fake ass, those clickbait stuff because people don't want to promote positivity. They don't want to see
All
positivity.
you see,
It's all
what
negative.
you're talking about is what they was talking about in the 1800s, bro.
But we
Hollywood.
didn't have the voice. We didn't have the
All
platform.
he's saying is if we had the same tools, it wouldn't have dragged this way. It's
would've
2024 and
it's
we still
still
having
bad.
the same
There's
conversations
no way
that they
to
had in the 80s.
So what does that mean? So what does that mean?
Where does it start and where does it end?
No, but what does that mean though? That means that we don't
Now
know how
we
to
need
learn
more-
from our history, right?
No,
and that means that we're doomed to repeat it if we don't learn it.
Now, if it was more people in numbers.
If we don't learn what we're not learning is where does people got to understand where does it start and where does it end.
I understand that, but the thing is if
you
you don't
understand that part,
right,
then you can figure out the rest.
completely get that, right?
Right.
Because that is a part of understanding history.
But when your environment doesn't dictate that, and it dictates where it starts.
No, your
then
environment does not stop you from misunderstanding.
No.
anything.
Your value doesn't dictate anything.
No, I'm saying
It's
your
what-
environment doesn't.
Look.
Your environment doesn't stop you from misunderstanding anything. Your environment does not dictate that in the slightest. So there's a thing in science, right, that we call epigenetics, okay?
Right.
And so you can have a twin come out identical, right? And they could look exactly the same from birth. All right, and then you have a twin raised in Alabama and you got a twin raised in New York City. They're gonna have some very slight differences. And you have to wonder why, right? It's because of epigenetics, right? There are certain things in us that are activated, right? Because of our outside environment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just put us in a white cube and expect us all to be, oh, yeah, exactly the same. That's not how it works.
Right. Let me go off like what they say with the crabs and bucket mentality. How you expect crabs to act when they ain't supposed to be in a barrel?
You're right.
But what started this whole going back and forth is if we had the technology that we have now back then, we would have had more numbers.
Yeah,
We'd have had bigger numbers.
But it's just like when my uncle got locked up back in the day. He saw the setup for what it is. He said what's going to happen in the future is going forward is why did I get
so
locked
what
up
do you
here?
think would
I got
happen
locked up
right
here because
now?
He was trying to get where everybody else was trying to get.
So what do you think would happen right now if we got promoted more unity and seeing more black people coming together? What if we seen that all over social media? Black people loving on each other, black love instead of Tyler Perry promoting black divorce and all of this stuff. What if we
Tyler Perry is a what?
What if we saw more of that?
Tyler Perry is a what?
What is
Like
it?
you said,
All these corporations are what?
These are plants.
Conglomerates. Money.
Right.
Where it starts is how it ends.
All right.
So you
okay.
saying
Now I'm
he's a sellout.
saying
You saying
that's
he's a
why
sellout.
now we all have platforms. We all have a platform now.
If you've always been broke and somebody walks up to you and they ask you a question, and then the next day automatically you have $1 million in your hand.
Right.
$1 million when you don't have, especially like you said, the environment. If it's different in Alabama, it's different from New York. In New York, we'll sit there, certain folks in New York will say, "Man, get that shit out of here." In Alabama, they can't say that because when they walk outside, they gotta look both ways. When they look outside, they gotta look both ways because when you've been a part of the have-nots and you're behind, that's what happens. How we were building communities until people realized that the people in the community was just as corrupt as the people upstairs.
I mean, okay.
You have to stop. Where it starts. My father always said this shit. Where it starts, son, is why we're in the predicament we're in, and that's how it's
Now,
going
like
to
I
end.
said from the beginning, if we had hundreds of thousands of people speaking up saying we don't like this shit that you're feeding us, it would have changed in the dynamics of who's being influenced by what and now where they are. You know, the people that was influenced by Lil' Kim, where are they at now? The people that was influenced by, even right now in this time, the people that was influenced by Tupac, Lil Wayne, this person, where are they at now? Dead or in jail or drug addicts.
And what did they follow? They followed shit like Scarface. They followed shit, the Godfather movies. They followed shit like whatever they sing. It's
why
all
didn't they
a repeated cycle.
Why didn't that? Well, it's not just because it won't sell because it's not cool. No, because when we were at one point in time, you didn't need social media for all of us to come together in unity.
No.
We didn't need that. You know, look how Martin Luther King did it, and he didn't have social media.
Right.
So imagine if it was more unity, positivity, structure, family was more promoted. Why now everything is drama? I hate a nigga. Niggas ain't shit. Fuck my baby mama. Fuck my baby daddy. Look what kind of world it's creating.
It's
Look what kind of
terrible.
community it's creating.
It goes back to what Bruh's saying. What money?
Created that world?
Money.
What created that world?
And now that's why I said, let's go back to this. Now, if more of us had them platforms to speak on it, in numbers, hundreds of thousands of us on these platforms saying, we don't like this. Stop promoting us like this.
You need to listen to Mr. Nigger. As soon as you figure it out, they figure out a way to put.
Now,
what's
imagine if it
important
was
to them in front of
hundreds,
you.
let's say if it was millions of us, how we talking right now, saying this is some bullshit. Imagine how it's going to change.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
let's say every time we go into Instagram and open it up, and it's not no negative, it's black people coming together. You know, the dude like that's going in Detroit, he got the new era of Detroit, and he go around the neighborhood, he armed security, and he making sure the community. Where have we seen that in all of the states? Where have we seen all bunch of black people coming together, and it wasn't all of this false narrative that black people is so bad being promoted through media, social media? What if the kids didn't think it was cool or think they have to act a certain way in order to get the bag?
All he's doing is what the original God, the disciples and the Bloods was doing back in the day, policing their community until once again you fly planes from here to Cuba, or Colombia. You sit there. We don't have planes. They
knew technology was going to upgrade, and they knew it was going to be one point in time where kids was going to be able to get on these platforms and reach the world. So they made sure they made a society where kids would think is only acceptable and cool and profitable to show their ass, to be an asshole, to be tough,
And
be
what does
gay.
that require?
Now, what if
it would have worked the other way around, and it would have been positive.
I'm not trying to disagree with you. All I'm telling
We'd
you
have had a
is
different world right now.
Oh, I know.
a different world, maybe. But when you have money, it's just. I go by Bernie Sanders is.
I
right
hear
about
what
one
you're saying.
thing. When you were doing elections, they didn't have money involved. When money got involved, you have Trump.